Counter-Narrative News wanted to present this interesting political poster done by the Bolsheviks during the Russian Civil War, roughly 1918 to 1921, shortly after the Bolshevik Revolution itself in October 1917. The poster is in two languages. It's in Russian and in Turkic Tatar. The Tatar people are concentrated around the Crimean Peninsula, which obviously has been an area of rivalry between great powers, particularly the Western colonial powers, the Russian colonialists and the Turkish colonialists. And the text in the poster says the following: "Followers of Islam, rise up against your oppressors. Comrades, you have fought under the green banner of the Prophet, defend your land and free it from your enemies. Join the communist struggle north, south, east and west. Mount your horses and ride toward enlightenment." Really interesting, because Lenin is the leader of the Bolshevik Party in the Russian Revolution, and he has a revolutionary, arguably a revolutionary, radical leftist trajectory in his leadership globally around the anti-colonial struggles. Now, we're going to report more on this, but it was an Indian from Bengal called M.N. Roy who actually advised Lenin in 1920 at the Comintern conference to correct Lenin's perception that he must support the quote-unquote bourgeois democratic revolutions in the colonies against the colonizers. And M.N. Roy argued that actually no, that we must be supporting the revolutionary struggle of the oppressed nations against imperialism, and where the bourgeoisie, i.e. the capitalists or the middle capitalist class, are selling out that revolution, then we must expose that. Now that was really interesting, and also you can see with this poster that Lenin clearly had a very creative approach to involving the colonized people of the Russian Empire into the Bolshevik Revolution and into the socialist state, in counter-distinction, in a counter-opposite strategy actually in leadership than that of Stalin, who would enforce mass population transfers in a very extreme right-wing sense against exactly people like the Crimean Tatars and the Chechens and several other oppressed ethnic groups within the Soviet state. So one is really interested to research more into what actually happened to these movements and relationships, i.e. the leadership of the Bolsheviks with Lenin and these kind of, perhaps you could call it Islamic Bolshevik or Islamic communist type of initiatives and struggles of the oppressed people around the former Tsarist empire, and in this part of the chronology, part of the Soviet state. If anyone has any further research about it, we're also researching about it, please do share with us. But this is really quite relevant to today, whereby in terms of the growing and arguably even hegemonic racism across white supremacy and racism across the world is holding back the ability of oppressed peoples to form socialist strategies going forward for their own independence against global colonialism and capitalism, but also, as Lenin and M.N. Roy corrected Lenin, were arguing and leading, that it must be a revolutionary movement, not a right-wing one that internalizes further oppressive nationalisms and Eurocentricities into our struggle, but a liberating one. Many thanks.